could it be? For me, your man, Louie T here on Summer Series Recap, Season 2, Episode number 3, featuring Candi Waller from Bowie TV, also a Commanders beat reporter who does a fantastic job covering the team. Had her on the Summer Series. It was well received by you all. We'll talk about that episode here in a second and kind of react to that episode and your comments and things of that nature. But first, let's talk about a little bit of Commanders news. As I like to do with these React videos, throw a little bit of Commanders flavor off to the side. So we'll get to that first. The Commanders put out a couple of tweets on social media that I want to react to real quick. The first of which, they have released training camp, the dates for training camp. So training camp starts the 20th. Let me, I don't know. I should have pulled that up for you guys. But I can tell you what it is. July 27th through August 10th it is training camp for the Commanders. And they'll be there before the 27th, but these are the dates that are open to the fans starting the 27th through the 10th. I think camp officially starts for them around the 21st, I believe. 21st, 22nd, somewhere in that neighborhood. But they released the schedule as far as like the dates that are open to the public. 3 of them are open to the public, fully open. You just needed to go and get tickets. They're already sold out, okay? Which shows you the hysteria for this upcoming season. This fan base has been awakened, and it's just different now. Even last year when they did this, the tickets sold out, but it took a little while. You didn't have to go and be ready to click and get you a ticket as soon as the tickets were released to the general public. This year, if you weren't on it that first day, you probably missed out, right? 27th, open to the public. The NFL is having back together weekend. So by the 27th of July, every single team will officially be back in training camp. And this is the NFL's open back together again weekend. They always have this, or at least have done it for the last, I think, 2 years now. This will be year 2 or 3 of that little weekend that they put together league-wide. 29th of July is open to the public as well. And then the 2nd of August is open to the public. That's Kids Day. So I think those are the 3. And then the other 3 that are open to the public are open to just season ticket holders. Now, it's different season ticket holders. So the first one is July 28th, season ticket members that are Ultra members. Then the 31st, season ticket members that are Business Network members. And then August 4th are the season ticket members who are friends and family. So those are the 6 days. And then military appreciation is not open to the general public, but it is open to members of the military. And so they'll have a special practice for them. It's military appreciation. So that's something that you can put on your calendar. If you've already gotten one of the tickets, good. I expect a report on my desk at 0800 hours if you go to training camp and tell me what it was like and the atmosphere and what did you see and things that you were able to take away. What's not mentioned here, and maybe because it's not training camp, are the joint practices with the Ravens. I expect there to be the ability for fans to be there. I could be wrong, but so stay tuned for that. Obviously, that's something else that we'll be paying attention to because we're not used to joint practices being here. But things are changing. We actually have the fields for that to take place now. And so I want to see what that looks like. Also, they put out, and this one got a lot of attention, that they will be unveiling new alternate jerseys next week. So we knew this was coming. Our owner, chief managing partner, Josh Harris, told us as much after the season was done that we were getting jerseys that were going to tie the past to the present. Essentially, we're going back to the championship unis. I believe you're getting, so I want to manage expectations for these uniforms. Okay. That's all I'm looking to do because, I've always said this about the name and about the uniform. For those who are so hell bent on, we need a new name, we need new jerseys, you're not going to be happy with this. And you're not going to be able to make everyone happy with whatever you do, right? Because even when we were the Redskins and we had our classic look, you had people that are, hey, we need new jerseys. I'm tired of looking at these. Like, you're never going to be able to make everyone happy. It's an impossible task. So don't even try, right? So, but there is a sector of the fan base that wants the championship look back, wants the classic look back. You can't appease everyone, and you can't appease that entire group because you see the helmet, right? The W. Like, they're not gonna have. I don't even know if you're getting an alternate helmet with this, jersey. You might, and if you do, it's gonna have the Washington Commanders logo on it, or it's gonna have the numbers on the side of the helmet, like the football team. You're not getting the um old mascot logo, the old Redskin logo. You're probably not getting a spear on the helmet. I'm like, well, we better get a spear. You're probably not getting that shit either. You're getting a W on the side of the helmet. Okay. Um, so the likelihood is, don't get your hopes up for alt helmet that's dope or some sort of change from the norm. I'll be shocked. I'm not saying that it can't happen. Just don't look for it, right? And then the jersey, it's gonna probably be something close to what we had on as the Washington football team. It may not go all the way back to the Redskins days with the classic look, but you know, I wouldn't be shocked if you see, you know, something close to the Washington football team with a little alter, here or there. I wonder if this alt jersey, because it's going to be I think it's going to be white tops, burgundy bottoms. I've always said that I don't love our current white jerseys, home, away jerseys rather. I don't love them. I have no issues with the current burgundy and gold pants jerseys that we wear at home, or burgundy on burgundy at home, or even the black jersey. I have no issues with those. My only issue is with the whites when we were on the road, but I don't care enough, right? And they have to have, my biggest gripe is that burgundy isn't actually burgundy. It's more like a maroon, right? It's not like the color, the traditional color. And it has to have black in it if you want one of your alt jerseys to be black. So I get the concept of the jersey. I just don't love it. I don't love the look. But that said, I know a lot of people who don't like the championship look, the traditional classic look. That's what this jersey is going to look like. There may be a slight tweak here or there. Like, I saw Big Doug on X talking about wanting I think it was 2012 or so, where we had the burgundy collar right around the neck. That was pretty dope. Like, I could see them, working that in as an alteration. It's probably gonna say Commanders on the front instead of Redskins on the front. Um, but outside of that, I don't think it's gonna look that different. It's an ode to the past. So we'll see. Like, all I'm telling you is, don't get your hopes up for some, sophisticated, great looking throwback like the 2002 ones, or the ones we used to wear with the bronze helmets, with the silver face mask. Like, don't look for those throwbacks that we used to wear. Just think about the traditional look and just think about them maybe slightly tweaking that here or there. If that's not appealing to you, then tough luck, because that's what's probably about to happen. I'll be shocked if there's some, dope helmet with this dope throwback. Like, this isn't the old helmets with the R, with the yellow helmet, with the gold helmets, like from the 1970s with George Allen that we wore back in 2006. Like, that's not what, with the stripes. We're not getting that. That's not what they're doing here. Although that would be pretty dope. And if they did that, that would be fire. But that's not what they're doing. Okay? That's not what they're doing. So just prepare yourself to for most. I'll just say this: for people like myself, I'm gonna be cool either way. I'm not tripping. But for the vast majority of you who obsess over this type of stuff, you're gonna be disappointed more likely than not, unless you want the old jerseys back. You're not getting the helmet though, so you're gonna be disappointed. So just temper expectations here. I've seen people on social media losing their shit already. I'm getting ready for my team to disappoint me again. Shut up. Shut up. Okay. If that's the way you feel, then you should already be ready for disappointment. Then shut up. Anyway, I digress. Let's get to the reaction to Summer Series Season 2, Episode 3, featuring Bowie TV beat reporter for the Commanders, Candi Waller. First and foremost, I want to thank you guys once again for continuing to support the Summer Series, right? It's, one of the flagship programs of the summer. It is going to be a staple moving forward that I do in the summertime as things slow down. It's one of the few times that I have guests on my show. And so I really appreciate y'all supporting this endeavor. This was very well received, as all of them are. I haven't done one of these yet where y'all was like, yo, that was trash. Don't bring that person back. And I don't even know if you guys would do that. And I try to be very selective on who I bring on, because I want it to not only be interesting for me, but interesting for you, of course, the consumer and viewer. But in doing that, sometimes you're not sure how it's going to turn out. I've never met a lot of these people before. I haven't spoken to some of them before. This is the first time. So you never know how things are going to go. But I know my personality. I know how I am. And I know I usually interact with anybody well anyhow, right? So, having this interview with Candi was exceptional. The chemistry was there. I felt it. You guys felt it. You guys talked about it. She was very forthcoming. She was herself, as she talked about. She was very authentic, and you could see that, right? And it resonated with you guys because a lot of the comments in the comment section reflected that. And a lot of you were like, hey, we'd love to see this, again, more often, et cetera, et cetera. And I just thank you guys for the outpouring of support. She talked about some things that I think a lot of us were very intrigued by, like, how the team was at Cincinnati, which was one of the very pivotal moments of the season. She also talked about the Arizona trip. She talked about, the team's demeanor throughout the course of the season, and just how they were always confident, and they spoke it, but it's one thing to say it. Ron Rivera used to say a lot of things, but it never really played itself out, and a lot of it turned out to be lip service. So you can say one thing and then do another. She was basically explaining to us that they would say one thing and do that exact thing, and you would see it play itself out throughout the course of the week. And then the final product, whether that was a Thursday, a Saturday, a Sunday, a Monday, you would see all the things that they had talked about all throughout the course of the week, all the things that they had done during camp, all the things they had done, during the off season. It was playing itself out on a weekly basis. They meant what they said, and they went out and executed the things that they set out to execute. And the attention to detail was there. And so listening to her tell those stories about the demeanor of this team, and how they conducted themselves on the road, and how she missed the Hail Mary in the Bears game because she went to the bathroom, how she missed or how she was turned into a fan for a little bit in the Detroit game in the playoffs. Just listening to her tell those stories, it was fun to hear, right? And it's always great. This is why I like having people who are on the beat on the show, especially during the summer series, because you get insight that, like what I do is I put on my, inference brain, my psychology brain, and, take clues. And, I've been watching football for a very long time, probably longer than a lot of you. And there's some of you that have been watching football way longer than me. But for the most part, I've been watching football for a really long time. And so, like, if you notice, I haven't asked not one guest that has anything to do with the Commanders about Terry McLaurin and his contractual situation. Why? Because I've already told you, I'm not worried in the slightest bit at all. As a matter of fact, I told you a long time ago, like 6 months ago, don't look for the Terry contract extension until sometime in mid-July. I think I told you that a lot of times. It's not mid-July yet, so I'm not worried. Deadline spur action. I learned that a long time ago, especially dealing with this league. Deadline spur action. TJ Watt situation in Pittsburgh. Guess what? I'm not worried. And if you're a Steelers fan, you shouldn't be worried either. He's not going anywhere. The Steelers don't allow guys like TJ Watt, who have been core producers for their franchise, to leave. They don't. He'll get his money. This is what happens. This is the nature of the business. So it's just great to hear from people who are there, who have that insight that we as fans who are watching from afar, even though we follow this, as I said to her, we follow this as close as anyone can possibly follow something that they aren't physically there to touch. Like, we obsess over this team, every aspect of it. We're truly nerds when it comes to this Commanders football team. You ask us the most finite and the smallest minute detail about this team, and we can tell you this shit. We can tell you who the IPP player is here for this organization, right? Like, we can tell you who the strength and conditioning coach's name is, right? Like, these are things we shouldn't be able to do, but because we care that much, we can, right? You hear a name and you're like, who is that? Some of us can tell you who that guy is, what he does here, right? Probably shouldn't be able to, but we can because we care that much. And as fans who care that much, and not all fans care, and just because one fan may know some of these things and another might not, doesn't mean that fan cares more than the other. It's just that fan is more plugged in. That's all, right? Some people can put this team down after the last regular season game, not give a shit about the draft, free agency, any of that, and pick it right back up once August hits. Hey, who we get in the draft, right? People do that. And they're just as big of a fan. They're at these games. They're diehard. They just aren't as plugged in. Like, I got other shit to do, right? I'm not going to live and die with this team in the offseason. When these games start, though, I'm there. And it's just great to have someone, boots on the ground, that's there every day, that see these players, that talk to these coaches, that know what's going on behind the scenes, to be able to give us some of that insight. It's great. And she me and her have talked after the show because of the outpouring of support that she's gotten based off of this show, and what you guys said in the comment section and things of that nature. So I want you guys to know that she appreciates it. I appreciated the support. And her being a Black woman in a predominantly male industry it's a big deal. Like, there are only 3 real females. Like, I mean, I say real females. There are only 3 females that we really know of. There may be others that they pop their head in and out of the beat, but it's only Nikki Javala, Donna Hopkins, and Candi Waller that we really know as people that cover this team, the way that we consume it, right? Where these people, they're there at almost every press conference. Their presence is felt. But there are 2 Black females there, Donna Hopkins and Candi Waller. And so she represents this team so well. And I just wanted to make sure that she got her flowers. I wanted to make sure that the work that she does is highlighted, because she does a phenomenal job covering the team. And I wanted to make sure that that was portrayed, and that people that may not have been exposed to her before, or Bowie TV and the work that they do over there, that they know now. And so I really appreciate everyone for checking out this episode. I appreciate everyone for the comments that were just so um, effusive with praise. And we felt the love from this episode. And I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. And I love the fact that every episode is the best one yet. You know, I really love that. You know, so many people like, yo, no cap, this was the best episode ever. Well, some of you said that the week before, and so I'm glad that this continues to get better and better every week. That's the goal, right? And I know I might not hit the mark every time and every week. You may not enjoy it as much as the episode before, but it's just a way to bring you a different flavor, right? Something different, something fresh. You go anywhere on the internet and get Commanders content, but you can't go everywhere and get the summer series. And that's the goal that I set out for. So I thank y'all for continuing to support this. It was a tremendous episode. And I just want you to know that you guys have planted a seed potentially. We'll see how things go, but because of your outpouring of support, you may have planted a seed. So I thank you guys for supporting the summer series. I thank you guys for reacting to episode 3 of the summer series. There's more in store for you guys, so continue to support the summer series and continue to comment in the comment section. Continue to watch, continue to like, continue to share with others, because there are a lot of people who, you know, put this stuff down in the off season and they may not be paying attention. So, you know, it's a grassroots effort. Let them know, hey man, summer series, check it out. So really appreciate y'all for all that you do to continue to support not just the Louie T Network and all of its endeavors, but you know, this one in particular, the summer series. So with that said, I thank you guys for checking this out. I will get back to a normal schedule here soon, but as everyone else is, I'm just enjoying this little break. It's a small one. You know, I don't take breaks very often. So it feels good to just be like, I don't know if I'm going to do a video today or not, you know, but I'm going to try to put some stuff out there for y'all to consume and give y'all a little something to watch while you chilling on your break as well. So anyway, I know y'all been tired of seeing my face anyhow. So give y'all a little break, man. But back like cook crack. And I'll throw out some more stuff for y'all to consume here. So with that said, you guys have a good one. Take care. And I look forward to bringing more summer series heat your way. Till then, you guys have a good one. Enjoy the 4th of July. Peace. LouieTeeNetwork.